Oh, hey VC, how'd y'all sleep? Come on in. You need a cup of coffee or a currant bun or cereal? I got that here. Banana. I always start the mornings with banana. This is for Randy Weaver's 500 sub contest. I'm surprised Randy didn't have, I don't know, like 1,000 or 2 by this time. But Randy wanted us to post some music in the mornings that got us going. And quite honestly, I don't get up and play any music, to tell you the truth. I get up in the morning and then more than likely jump on my computer. Unless I got something pressing, you know, like a doctor's appointment or whatever. But anyway, Randy wanted us to show some music that that got us going in the morning. And like I said, I usually get on my computer. I'm retired, so I mean I don't really need to get going for anywhere. And due to that, I generally listen to music any time of the day. You know, it could be mornings, it could be afternoons, or nighttime. I listen to more music at night than I do in the mornings these days. And particularly, you know, around bedtime or something like that, I'll listen to some night music. Sometimes I'll listen to some stuff in the day, but more than likely, you know, in the mornings, I usually watch a lot of YouTube videos that people are posting, whether it be on the VC or some other type video that I enjoy watching. I mean, I watch a lot of different videos, but anyway, I'll try and post some links below to some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about. But like here the other day, I listened to a Hank Jones trio. It was called The Oracle, and that was posted on YouTube. I was kind of curious about it, and it's just trio jazz, but it had Dave Holland on bass, and Billy Higgins was on drums, and I thought that was pretty interesting one. There was also a recent Herb Ellis and a Remo Palmier. I believe it's maybe how you say his name, Palmier, Remo Palmier. It was a duo album between those two, and I thought that was really good. And so, like, if I'm on YouTube and I'm watching videos or something, and I run across a video on a record or something that looks interesting, I'll play that, you know, that I'm interested in hearing. Or if somebody mentions an album on some of these YouTube things that I'm curious about, I'll, you know, do a search and look for that. That's another thing too that kind of kills me about the digital age or the internet age, is that somebody will mention something, you know, anything. Say somebody was talking about films, a Western film or something, and they'll mention Audie Murphy, and there'll be somebody on a forum somewhere that says, "Who's Audie Murphy?" And I'm like, what, you don't have Google on your computer? I know you've got a computer. You're sitting right there talking on your computer, and if you want to ever know anything, you just Google it. I mean, that's what I do all the time. There was a gal on a board, I guess it was a gal, she had a female glyph, or a female picture of herself, although that doesn't mean anything these days. It could have been her husband or whatever. And so somebody would mention something, and they would come back on there. I won't say she. They would come back on there and say, "Who is that?" or "What is that?" Or I felt like saying, "Don't you have Google on your computer?" Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Anyway, there's some videos put up by a Mol, M-O-L is his screen name, and he's been doing these Khruangbin Vibes, and they've been real good. They're kind of like a mixtape, and if you like the band Khruangbin, which is, I guess is how you spell it or say it, they've been doing these mixtapes on YouTube that are, I guess, people that may have influenced them as a band. They're that band that's out of Houston that kind of play sort of exotic music. and I'll try and post some of that. They just put up one today, which was volume 12, that was real good. I like that guy's videos. There's also a CafeMusic, which is, I don't know who puts that up. It may be, well, I just don't know. It says CafeMusic BGM channel. So, but they also put up music. So I'll listen to some of that too if I'm kind of watching stuff and maybe doing stuff at the same time. There's a Brilliant Classics that plays classical music. You know, if I'm in the mood for classical music, I'll play that. There's a Performance Today, which is a American Public Radio, and I've been listening to Performance Today forever, which is another classic station. And I can't think of the guy's name that's the MC on that, or the host of that, but he's been doing it forever, ever since I started listening to it, which is back in when I used to live in Odessa. I'd wake up and read something and listen to Performance Today, and I always found that a good way to wake up. Boy, I just can't think of the host's name though, but anyway, it's on American Public Radio, and you know, you can always just like Google Performance Today and probably find it, but you can like listen to it online on your computer, or if you live in a metro area or in a fairly big area. I know I mean, I lived in Odessa, and it was maybe a little over 100,000 people, so they had a public radio station there, and we have two here, but they're hard to get over my radio. One comes out of Dallas, and one comes out of Louisiana, Shreveport, and but I just listen over the computer. You can do it that way. That's the way I do it. Performance Today. You know, there's all sort of things. You know, I like, there's you know, I listen to like movie reviews, book reviews, sometimes comic reviews, travel stuff I kind of watch. There was a guy that was posting some stuff from around various parts of the world. And he was in, I don't know, parts of South America, and then he was in parts of Germany. I thought his things were pretty good. There's a guy I like to watch that does art shows in New York City. His name's JamesKalm, and he'll visit all the different galleries in New York City and show all this interesting art. Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes not. You know, if I don't like it, I just don't watch it. But there was a really young girl. She's older now, but she does guitar, kind of guitar instructions now. She started out doing like showing what she knew on guitar. There's a really great one of her on there of doing the licks to one of the Led Zeppelin songs. Can't think of the name of it, title of it. Her name is Ayla. A-Y-L-A, Ayla, I guess, and really, really good. Wish I could play guitar as well as she does. But so anyway, those are just, you know, some of the things that I guess start me up in the mornings. It's not quite so much music, I don't think. As I've gotten older, I don't really need that morning fix of music. Well, like I said, I still do. Like I said, I still watch YouTube, and for various things, for various shows on there. But I know you're kind of wanting to show some things that we like, or I'll tell you what, I'll just show some stuff that I've been listening to lately. I listened to this Bob Marley and the Wailers album on Uprising. This is probably one of my favorite Bob Marley albums. And the reason I pull this out and listen to it is there's a lyric on here from it's from a song on here that called Real Situations, and there was a guy on Facebook that I was talking to, and kind of discussing the abortion topic, because Texas had passed this abortion thing down here, and he asked me, why do I even care about that, since I'm a man, you know, and I don't have, you know, a wife and kids and all that type of thing. And I said, well, and I quoted a lyric on this album, and Bob Marley sings, take an inch, you give a mile, and what's the other part of it? Once a man, twice a child. But the only thing I was saying to him, well, you know, you give a little bit and they'll take a lot, and you keep giving, and you know, what do you have? So anyway, I listened to this Bob Marley. There's a lot of good songs on this album that I really love. There's A Pimper's Paradise. That's really a great song, Coming in from the Cold. Redemption Song, and is an acoustic song that Marley does. So yeah, really great album by him. Then I was talking to Cosmic Fickle about the Rascals. I've had this album a while, and I pulled it out and listened to it. It's one of their later albums, but what he was talking about is he read a book by their guitarist on here, which is Gene Cornish, and I went over to Amazon, and you can read like the first, I don't know, 6-7 chapters on there by Gene Cornish. It was real interesting. Of course, the Rascals were out in New Jersey, which is where Cosmic Pickle is out of New Jersey as well. And he was talking about reading that book, so it got me interested in reading the book, which, you know, also got me interested in listening to the album. And still, I'd kind of like to read that book. I may end up getting it, you know, on my Kindle and reading it that way. But Gene just talks about growing up in New Jersey and around that area. And, you know, of course, he got involved with drugs and everything, too. I haven't got into that part, but, you know, I assume that kind of affected his life. But, yeah, all members of the Rascals are still alive. And it was talking about... oh golly, the guy in the Bruce Springsteen's band that's a guitarist that played on, well, my mind's blank this morning, played on the Sopranos, that guy, or a musician, was backing them, but due to the guys in the band and disagreements and everything, it kind of fell apart. So anyway, I listened to that. And then I listened to this album because, see if I can think of his name. I know his name is Jeff, but yeah, I'm drawing blanks this morning. Anyway, Jeff was talking about early '60s bands, and this Kurt Boettcher, B-O-E-T-T-C-H-E-R, I believe his name is Kurt Boettcher. Anyway, he was talking about the Associations. This is one of the earlier albums by them that I had, and so I listened to it for some pop. Some Valiant Records, but yeah, real fun album by them, and very much like, sort of like the Beach Boys and any of the pop back then. Good vocals, good arrangements. So this got the hit song Along Comes Mary on it, and Cherish, that's a real good song. Listen to this one here too. This is an ECM album. Bill Connors of Mist and Melting. Connors plays guitar, Young Garbrett plays saxophone, Gary Peacock bass, Jack DeJohnette plays the drums on it. And so yeah, I just wanted to hear something, you know, along ECM line, but I like a lot of their stuff, so you know, I'll pull out and listen to an ECM album just about any time of day. Pulled out this Joe Pass album. It's Joe Pass and Herb Ellis from hearing the other Herb Ellis online. Pretty good album. I mean, I like any Joe Pass, really. And then I was watching a blues YouTuber guy on there, And just pull out of this just for the heck of it. Fred McDowell and Ferry Lewis, I Lay My Burden Down. This is an album, and it has one of them plays on one. They don't play together. One has one side, and the other guy, Ferry Lewis, has the other side. And it's just this is on Biograph Records, but this is a real lean sort of produced thing. Like, it's just kind of like the guy went to their home in their living room or wherever. And it's just them playing acoustic guitar, doing a set on one side, and the other does a set on the other. And I hadn't heard this album in a long time, and so I thought I'd give it a listen. Both of them do the song When I Lay My Burden Down, and I don't know, just sort of a real unproduced sort of album of blues music, acoustic music by both of them. Sort of interesting in that regard. And that will be it. I'm going to have my breakfast, and glad y'all could stop in and enter Randy's videos if you care to do so. He has a contest, and I'm sure he would like you entering. So I'm going to get my day started, have some cereal, might even have a meat stick like what's his name is always talking about. Anyway, I'll let you go. Talk to you later.